Welcome back to Owlbear Odysseys. I'm Marshal Maiwald, the DM for Heartwood Heist. These four are my lovely players. Say hello, lovely players.
Hello, lovely
Hello,
players.
We're not
lovely
doing the Dimension 20
players.
thing.
I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway. You can't stop me.
That was not an intentional ripoff on my part. That's all on Shane. We're good from there. Thank you all for joining. If you're here on Twitch or if you're here on YouTube, right before we kick it off with a recap, we're going to start off with our intro sequence. Hit it, Shane. Hello, you're back. Now, last session, we found ourselves in the middle of City on Fire, and our humble crew searching for answers and running amok in this City on Fire. Glint found himself searching for answers, and he wound up stumbling into a vision that he did not want to see, and something that he is now struggling with, that a future that might come true now. And is it vague or is it true? Who knows? Now we find ourselves with the players huddled around each other in the midst of fire and explosions happening through the city, sirens, and our players now just getting the news that their timetable for the heist has been moved up, and they now only have 2 days before they have to perform the heist at the conference that the Fey Council is holding. What are all of you doing?
Hey, Marshall, can I clarify something with you real quick?
Yeah.
Did you say, is the vision vague or true, or did you say fake or true?
Vague.
With a V and a G or an
with a
F
V
and
and
a K?
G?
V.
Oh, okay. Why can't it be both?
Yeah, those aren't really opposites.
That's how fortune tellers make their money, with things that are both vague and true.
It's just what I said. It's how I said it. Just
Okay.
let it be. It's
I
fine.
mean, I gave you an out with a better word, but
It's okay. I accept from what I said. I don't lie. And we go from there. It could be vague, it could be fake, it could be true. Who knows? And Glint isn't a fortune teller. He just sometimes glimpses the future. That might happen or might not happen. Doesn't mean it's not fake, it just means it could be abstract. And that's what I meant by vague. Abstract. There we go.
But
Now,
abstract and
players,
true also aren't opposites, Marshall.
it is in my mind. Let it be. It's all
That's
good.
not how language works. What it means
how
in your
my
mind
language
doesn't
works.
change language.
Well, this was a fun little rant. Players, what are you all doing?
Well, Beef is wondering about why the god of this world doesn't understand the concept of objective language.
But besides
you all made weird
semantics,
language. That's what happened.
besides semantics, in which Marshall's wrong, are we just like picking straight up from like sitting in the middle of a street in a group? Is that where we are?
Right after you all heard from Thalindor Darkleaf that your timetable has been moved up.
So
I think at this point, like,
when
I'm
did
still sitting on the ground with an arm around Glint.
Right.
As bros.
What did the timetable get moved up to? Did he tell us like how much time we've got?
To the time of the conference during it.
Yeah, so instead of being able to go and surveil it and come up with a plan, we had to come up with a plan and enact it without any surveillance, if I understood correctly.
So you're saying
it was vague, so I don't know.
So Marshall, you're saying that the conference that the fake court announced to everyone is coming up. Mm-hmm. That is the time that we have to do the heist during that.
Correct.
Okay. And that's in 2 days, right?
That was my next question.
2 days. It's currently about 3 a.m. right now for y'all. In the middle of this fiery hellscape of a city.
Right.
So, did we... I know we had some leads on it. Did we ever figure out, like, who actually set all of these fires?
No.
I didn't think so.
When we got to the Bocelli Pizzeria, they thought it might have been the Teppelwinks, which is a funny word. But they got bombed too, so it would seem that it was not them. I believe that was the only
either that or it was
lead we got, but it was pretty obviously wrong.
Yeah, the two.
Yeah,
that
I think
you
there was
got
also
were,
someone throwing suspicion on the Feiche.
if I remember
Feiche's
correctly,
trains all got bombed.
Oh, that's
the
it.
railways.
I remember discussion of the Feiche.
Yeah. So the two people or groups in question are the Teppelwinks and the Resistance. Whereas more suspicion is on the Resistance currently.
Now, I understand that, like, as the DM, you're making it very clear that those are the two groups that we need to be looking at. But I'm just looking, and the Pygmy Posse also seems relatively unharmed by this. Is there a reason that we didn't include them?
They just weren't hit that y'all know or anything.
Well, that makes them kind of suspicious in my book.
That's up to y'all, how y'all see it right now.
Well, everybody, I feel like priority number one should be getting somewhere safe because I don't know if everyone else has noticed, but the city is on fire.
That is correct. That's an astute observation, Beef. Where should we go?
I don't want to put my friend's life in any more danger than we have by involving him. So if we can head elsewhere, head away from Tink.
Which of the
there
boroughs are we
two
on right now? On/in?
You are on Yagaba, down here near the Ascendant Dragon.
So we could go to my gym. It's not too far of a jog from here.
You're on the same block.
Yeah. It's really not even a jog, because if you're not hitting double digits in miles, is it worth going out? But yeah, I would be happy to put you guys up in my gym. I don't have too much of like living space, but there's enough room for all of us to get a good night's sleep. Or as good of a night's sleep as we're going to get tonight, considering the sounds of the Armageddon.
Is there time for sleep even with the increased pressure to heist the jewel, to rob the jewel, to secure the jewel? I almost feel like there's too much excitement. How would we even sleep?
Well,
we can.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Don. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say that in my capacity as a healer, I've learned that it's very important. I mean, not for me to get 8 hours because I only need 4 hours because I don't really sleep. But I've been told that it's very important to get all your full rest in, and that it really comes back to get you if you don't get it. So I think we should at least attempt to get the proper amount of rest in.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we ignore our sleep, we can push past our boundaries, but we're just gonna be sloppy. I think we bite the time to get some rest, and we come back at this problem with fresh eyes.
I bow to your wisdom. Those are both very good points.
First time anyone's ever called me wise.
It's past my bedtime, and my mom says I get cranky when I don't get my sleep.
But be honest,
just a
Glint, you
clarifying
confused.
question here. How old is Glint?
Oh, Glint is definitely an adult,
Okay.
but he's like he appeared because he's like I don't.
A
He
lot of
appears to be
times
like
he tends to sound 8.
yes.
Glint, I feel like we've made some strides in our friendship tonight, but I'm still going to be honest. You are an enigma to me, and every time you open your mouth, I have more questions about your whole deal. Still don't really understand the Apple thing, but like that's you do you, man. Anyway, so yeah, if everyone's in agreement, I'll lead everyone to my gym and set people up in different rooms to sleep.
You got yoga mats.
Yeah, I'll go to my vending machine and use my key to get in. And I don't have any apples, but I have apple flavored corn chips. So I'll get some of that out and give it to Glint.
He just hugs it.
What are all of y'all doing as y'all get to the Ascendant Dragon, hugging those apple flavored cornflakes? What is everyone else doing?
When we rest, I do have the feature I used earlier, the Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow, so we can be a little better protected when we rest, if anyone would like to do so.
What's that do again?
I sent it on Roll20. It's
I
similar
think
to
Beef.
Tiny Hut.
I think Beef
I
has just
remember now.
trained his body enough that once everyone else is all right, he hits the mat and is asleep instantly. Like he's dreaming in seconds.
That was impressive. I mean, sorry. I don't want to speak loudly. I don't want to wake him up.
Already in REM sleep.
Haukin, Glint, are you guys comfy?
Likewise, I'm able to sleep easily, and I fall into a meditative trance, but not laying on a mat. I adopt a lotus pose and just drift off into an enlightened slumber.
I really thought you were about to tell me you sleep standing up. That was going to be a problem for me.
Horse.
I mean,
no, Haukin sleeps on all fours.
He just, I mean, he just like hops up and like grabs a branch. We're inside, but he grabs a branch with like the claws on his feet, and he sleeps upside down like a bat.
He grabs onto one of the pipes.
Oh, that's right. He's just sleeping from a chin up bar.
I need to have some fun with my new ability to not have to slow down while going up vertical surfaces. So that's something that I've recently acquired.
Haukin's just running up walls and going, neat.
This is a new feature. Wait, what?
Yeah,
all of y'all?
As long as no one else needs anything, I'm asleep.
Yeah, as soon as I've made sure that everyone else has drifted off comfortably, or as comfortably as they can, I will also sit down and honestly strike a very similar pose to Jeff or to Haukin, and just start trancing, except my eyes are completely open, and my head actually moves every now and then.
No! I don't like that decision.
Every now and again.
She's not smiling. I just can't stop because this is stupid and funny to me.
When Dawn goes to sleep, she turns into an oscillating fan. She was bitten by a radioactive oscillating fan on a field trip.
I need to ask her questions that she can answer a slow no to. All right. Would you like to stay awake all night? Okay. Are you hungry? Shall I feed you something?
Constant nose. So, Dawn's gone to bed, Beef's in bed. What about Glint and Haukin?
I always meditate before I sleep, and so I'm in a meditative pose. Usually, my daily practice is to contemplate my own monthly experiences of that day and see how they will translate into the development of my own monastic tradition.
Say that again. Sorry, it broke up for me for a second.
I said that my daily practice before I sleep is to take some time in meditation to process my experiences of the day and see if it's something that will help me in my development of my monastic tradition that I'm working on, the way of the cat.
Roll me a little straight wisdom.
Straight wisdom. All right.
I feel like Watsy is missing out on a cat-based monk subclass.
Truth.
Listen, the Tabaxi race already gets enough flack for being furry bait. You really want them to make a furry bait class or subclass?
I mean, they've already got the totem barbarian.
They need to bring back Lupin.
There are
no doggy.
Got an 18 wisdom. You are recalling some of the fights with the fight with Sylvanora and just how graceful she was while she was fighting you, even though she only gave one-word answers or short phrase answers about that she was going to kill you all. And
she was rather singularly focused.
Exactly. Very narrow-minded in her way, but was still graceful. And what about you, Glint?
I mean, Glint's a little bit terrified of Dawn. So he'll just he kind of does that horse pacing around in the stables before they eventually just curl up and fall asleep. He makes sure to fall asleep so he can't look at her.
If you're pacing, Dawn's eyes are following you.
Oh my
no!
just to be clear, why I'm doing this, in addition to being funny, is that I have the alert feat, and the Shadowkai trance says that you are still conscious while you trance, and alert means you can't be surprised when you're conscious. So I'm just taking that to the next level. So yeah, her eyes absolutely follow you as you pace.
Here's the thing, I don't care why you're doing it. I hate it.
It's terrifying and I love it.
It's awful.
After pacing for a bit, make sure you're not looking at Dawn. And is then Glint going to bed?
Yes.
Everyone is off to sleep. And as everyone is off to sleep, the night begins to roll on by. Does everyone go for their... Well, does the two that have to do their full 8 hours do their full 8 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as we've mentioned before, Marshall and I have kind of a deal that, in world, Beef only sleeps for 2 to 3 hours and spends the rest of the time, journaling and working out. So, I
was gonna say the first one up around 5 or 6 is Beef getting up and starting to journal. And
I was gonna say Beef rolls out of bed and hits the ground in a push-up stance and starts doing push-ups before he's fully awake.
Anytime you move, Dawn's eyes follow you, and when you stop moving, after a little while, it just goes back to the oscillating head. But as soon as you start moving again, it just goes zeroes in right in on you.
When Beef finally comes to, like, once he's gotten like into the 40s, 50s of his push-ups, he notices Don's head just staring at him, like tracking him up and down.
Still.
And he is deeply, deeply unsettled.
After the 4-hour mark passes, Dawn is now awake. And then
It's
for
such
4 more
it's
hours,
such a
the other two are still
sudden
asleep.
but also like discreet shift from just.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to be in a different room tomorrow night from me, because that is horrific.
What's horrific?
The way that you, I don't even think you can call it sleep.
Well, no,
but the way
I
that
trance.
you
I don't
rest,
sleep.
Yeah, that trance. I grew up with like 20 younger siblings, and that's the worst thing that's ever happened to me, is your eyes following me like that.
What do you mean following you?
You don't realize you do it?
No, I didn't know that. That's cool.
I hate that. When you're in your trance, you follow movement like a child's eyes follow a keyring.
That's good to know.
And it's terrifying. Like, I think we could probably take out Cal by just having you in a trance in the same room as him, and he would give up.
Okay, well, we can pencil that in. Keep that as an option in case we need it.
All right.
We've identified new superpowers among our group.
All right.
Sure.
Well, I should have some people getting here soon, so I'm gonna go start the conga line.
Is
a
conga
daily
line?
Practice at the gym?
Yeah, is that a normal? Is it like a workout routine?
It just kind of started happening, and people got really into it. And I don't have the heart to tell them that it's not a good exercise, so I just humor people.
All right. Well, if, I'm just gonna chill, wait for the others to wake up. But if conga line breaks out, let me know. I'll hop on in.
All right.
As the time passes, so only about like several people come into the gym, not many, and it's more so just to check on you, make everyone on the street, all fellow shop owners, checking to make sure other shop owners are okay. And as that's happening, after the last few like trickle out, one more walks in, and it's a bigger guy, and it's Percival Plots. Just wanting to check in on possible damage control. Hey,
still not for sale, but if you want a membership.
I just wanted to check and see if the whole street was okay after the many explosions last night. I'm glad your shop is in tip-top shape.
It's very curious to see you here. What's your interest in other properties around the city? Have those interests been similarly damaged or threatened by the vandalism over the last evening?
A few of the other shops did get graffitied, but none were actually hit by any of the bombs, other than the very far end. That was more so just some rubble that some of the little shops at the end. But that's about it. I just wanted to make sure all the other shopkeepers were okay, to see if I'm still able to purchase anything, or if anyone was wanting to make a deal. But yeah.
Yeah, you notice that the city is literally in ashes around you, and your biggest priority right now is furthering your business interest. Do you not see a problem with that?
Well, we gotta rebuild from what's happened. We gotta rebuild.
I'm just gonna put a hand over his mouth and kind of like gently, but very like I'm not gonna rough him up, but I'm just like forcing him out of my building. It's like I don't have the patience to listen to you today. I'm gonna close the door on him.
You just see him like waddle over to another shop.
Sorry, he brings out the worst in me, but in my defense, he is the worst.
It's very unfortunate that he's not enlightened enough to know that we do not possess things; rather, things possess us. And in his haste to buy property and to own the city, he's actually limiting himself in his own freedom. I wonder what his interests are for property ownership among the members of the Fey Court as well. I wonder if there's any sort of overlap.
Can't tell you. I just know I don't like him. Is Glint awake yet?
Everyone would be awake by this point.
Okay.
Unless Glint is still asleep. That's up to him.
I mean, he probably comes out hair all frazzled and glittery. He just like rubs his eyes like, is it morning yet?
Dog puts down the 2.5 dumbbell she was trying to curl, and just goes over there and just like brings him like a cup of tea or something, and just like starts brushing his hair. Yeah, it's morning.
Oh, thanks. I could do that. You don't have to do that.
Shh, I'm already doing it. It's fine. Just be quiet.
Well, I guess the four of us should probably figure out what we're gonna do when comes the heist.
It would be about 11 a.m. right now.
Yeah, so now we're down to a day and a half to collect data about how to pull off the heist. Do we even have I don't know, do we have any information about the location and the transportation of the gym or where people are going to be? I mean, we were supposed to do some surveillance during the initial meeting, and now everything's been moved up. So I don't know. I've got like Ocean's 11's plans in my head, but with no information.
Well, we either were given or are going to be given the who's the benefactor again? What's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Greenleaf or something?
Yeah, it's Lysanthir Silverglade.
Silverglade.
Yeah.
Okay, so Green and Leaf were not in there, but okay. Well, he was going to give us like his passcode to use the teleportation circle to get to the actual Heartwood itself.
Mm-hmm.
Which is at the top, right? Yeah, it's up here.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's at the very top up here. Basically there's a teleportation circle somewhere in the Fey Court that leads to the Heartwood itself.
If we're losing our time for like recon and surveillance, I think we need to try to talk with Lysanthir or someone else who has maybe some insider knowledge, get an idea of what kind of like defenses we're going to be up against.
Absolutely, and how to get away once we get it, because I think getting there was the easy part.
Mm-hmm.
So, in our previous two sessions, actually last session, y'all were able to run out of the library with several books. Beef had a lot of books, and Glint had a bunch of newspapers, and I believe Haukin had a couple books. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Haukin. If you took some of the Heartwood jewel books.
I remember looking at them, but I think it was all just common information about the jewel. But I mean, if I may have accidentally stuck one in my robes if it helps us to have one. But I don't specifically remember saying that that was something that they did.
Yeah. Okay. So with all of that, and with also the possibility of being able to check with Lysanthier or his second in command, Thalindor, what are y'all planning on doing?
Well, did Lysanthier give us a way to get in contact with him? Or do we just like click our heels 3 times and...
He told you can contact Thalindor specifically by calling out his name, and you'll be able to reach him.
That's where I got Leaf from. It's Thalindor Darkleaf, right? Aha! Yeah. I thought of Leaf for a reason.
Good job. We're all very proud.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, I guess let's try to get in touch with Thalindor. Get some information.
Do we gather around, hold hands, and chant his name, or do we just like mention it casually like Voldemort, or clap our hands and
say his name 3 times?
Thalindor! Thalindor! Thalindor!
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, that's not his voice. Yes.
We need to talk.
What do all of you need?
Information. Your boss is expecting us to pull off a heist in 2 days' time, and we don't know anything. The time we were going to have for surveillance is now gone, so we need to know what we're up against if this is going to go off.
You all are very resourceful, and I can only give so much. The codes to the portal will be given to you all on the day of the heist, on the day of the conference. It'll be given to you all at the first thing in the morning at 12 a.m.
Where is the circle located? I mean, if we can't, we can't go surveil the Heartwood itself, but we can at least check out where we're gonna have to, get to teleport.
Yes, the the teleportation circle will be behind many different doors that are obstructed behind the curtains that are where judgment is placed.
Okay.
So
I'm kind of gonna look at the
intentionally
others.
Not make sense, or am I missing something?
Well, it's true, but it's vague. So
yeah, I'm kind of gonna look at the others and go, is it just me, or did he just say a lot of words with no meaning whatsoever?
Mr. Darkleaf, are you smelling like burnt toast or something? Because I'm thinking you might have had a stroke there.
No, we don't allow any toast in the gym. That's just empty calories.
No. As I said, it is behind some doors that is behind the curtains that are obstructed by several things, and you must enter through them to be able to get to the teleportation circle.
Okay, so he's definitely having a stroke. Didn't he say something the first time about where justice is served or something? Is it something about justice?
Yes.
Made me think of like a courtroom.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's like the like equivalent of the Supreme Court?
Give me your either a history or investigation check for any.
I'm pretty sure I remember. Do I need to roll if I
Okay.
remember?
Go ahead. I was just saying beef, but you can.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll do a history
but
check. I'll
what do you
fail it.
remember?
But...
Is Glint still waking up? Was that what that was?
He's still waking up.
Very nice.
I got an 11.
You remember that one of the books does go over like the very beginning layout of the Fey Court itself, where everyone is, where people have seen it before. And what it is literally just the after you walk in through the giant double doors, there are multiple benches surrounding this big room with a bunch of doors and a giant curtain roughly in the middle of this room, but right in front of that curtain is a big stand where most of the Fey Council would be sitting. And in this, a little bit in front of that is where the defendants would be. And that is directly in the Fey Court building in the center island.
So, if I remember correctly, the way I understand is that the gym itself is not located in the court; it's in the Heartwood. So we're going to have to teleport to the Heartwood, and that's where Lysander was not all that certain about. He said, "I can get you there, but we're going to have to figure out a way to escape the Heartwood at some point because if we're there and we're in possession of the gym, that's likely going to be bad for us if we're not supposed to have the gym."
Yeah, with our escape plan.
The circle will be able to teleport you back to the Fey Court.
But won't there be a lot of people there?
That is what you all will have to figure out your escape plan.
I don't like this.
I have a question. What specifically about the four of us? Like usually when you're doing a heist, you need, a specific person for different jobs. Like based on the defenses that are going to be there, what inspired Mr. What's his face to get the four of us specifically?
Lysander, he planned the trials that you underwent at the interview to judge your ability to be able to handle random events and traps that could happen when you are trying to go get the jewel itself. And you four performed the best, showing that you four are the most capable for this.
So once we get back with the gym, provided that we have all the skills as judged by Lysander, once we return with the gym, how are we supposed to deliver said gym to Mr. Silverblade?
You will bring it back to where you all interviewed.
Okay, and that was at the tower. What was that?
That was here in Hiram. Hearsum, not Hiram. Jeez.
Yeah, and here's some at the I don't know. There's a tower there, right? That we went into.
It was a building that was run down on the outside, kind of like in the back alleys or back roads, but when you went inside, it was magicked up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, so if we teleport whatever trials we face in the Heartwood of getting the gem, and then we're able to teleport back, we've all already experienced that the even the minor archfey are considerably resilient and focused. And so, what if there were notable distractions that disperse their focus? For instance, there are merely 4 of us, but what if there were 40 of us? And it's well known that there are entering the island of the Fey Court. There are 4 bridges or entrances onto the island, and so blockading any one of them would be easy, but blockading all 4 would be much more difficult. So if there were duplicates of us or those who were representing us or look like us, maybe a quick disbursement of many versions of us would be harder to track and harder to follow.
That sounds like a very interesting and good idea. And that's something y'all would be able to figure out yourselves.
But if we did that approach, then that would be a little bit more overt, because we would be obfuscating which group we're actually in, but at the same time we'd be revealing that something's going down. So I think I think the suggestion was more that if we can sneak in without being detected, that's a lot easier to do with 4 than it is with 40, and that way the alarm isn't raised, and we can get in, not just to the Fey Court, but get in there, teleport and get the jewel and come out, hopefully without detecting, without raising any kind of alarms.
So, as I recall, the entire city was summoned to witness the proceedings at the Fey Court 2 days hence. So many people gathering would not be very suspicious. The 4 of us slipping away to do the actual heist and then returning with the gem. When we return, obviously we wouldn't take everybody with us, but as we return, to suddenly produce a lot more copies of us or our friends and compatriots who merely might dress as us or pose as us, then we would have the opportunity to disperse and return the gem to Lysander with less detection. So, say, members of your gym, maybe some of your clan even that might resemble Friend Beef, some Tabaxi friends of mine that might be willing to dress in my humble garb, similarly, from your organization, people who might represent you could all attend the gathering, and when we return with the gem and give a predetermined signal, then they display themselves to look like us, we mingle, and then disperse.
My head hurts.
How big is the building?
That is a hard question to answer. On the outside, it is. On the outside, it is a very large building.
Mm-hmm.
On the inside,
You better tell us it's a reverse TARDIS.
it is. It has many rooms upon rooms.
That's true of most buildings.
So you're not saying that. What you're instead saying is that it's large on the outside and large on the inside.
It is very big on the outside, yes, but it is also much larger on the inside. Yes.
Okay, so it's big, but it's even bigger on the inside.
So it's a normal TARDIS.
Okay. How
which
does
I guess exists in this world.
How does dimensional space calculate?
What do you mean?
You're losing me, pal. I'm not going to be able to keep up with this.
So, okay. All right, so you have simple spell, right? Misty Step, right? 30 feet movement. You can, like, 10 yards, you can go poof, right? Here and there.
Yes.
If I were to be in the building, looking out the window, and I poof, how far will I go?
If you're looking from the outside of the building, looking through the window and just poofing in?
Yeah. Does the dimensional space follow the rules of where you currently are or going in?
Well, everything on the immediate inside of the building is normal until you get to the doors. The doors on the inside.
Okay.
Which there are no windows.
Okay, so is this suggesting that there's a part of the building that is normal space that on the inside, and that there is like a room or set of rooms that is larger in the inside than it is on the outside, but that doesn't apply to every room in the building?
Okay, so I can only answer so much because I don't know the whole building.
Neither do any of us, which makes a heist really difficult.
I've only been permitted to enter Thalindor's, Lysanthia's room.
Who's Thalindor?
I'm Thalindor.
I know.
If you do need to understand the schematics, which if that is what you all need, I guess, you can go find the architect.
Well, where's this architect?
I think he's in prison.
I just want to take a minute.
Why is he in prison?
I just want to take a minute real quick, Thalindor, because you're acting like it's really ridiculous of us to be asking these questions. Have you ever seen a heist movie? You got to get the information. All right?
What's a movie?
You're acting like, shut up. You're acting like we're being real insensitive and we're the ones being a-holes because we want to be informed going in. If this building operates by non-Euclidean geometry, I feel like that's something we should have known before we agreed to this.
This is the Feywild. Everything is non-Euclidean.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair, but not helpful in the moment.
The whole dimension is chaos.
But even in chaos and magic, there are rules of magic. So, like, if I'm in one of these,
it's crazier.
If I'm in one of these fancy rooms, and I try, and like, I say I have a spell that lets me teleport to a place that I don't have to see, right? I just, but how am I supposed to judge the distance? Does teleporting out do I have to take into consideration the multi-levels of how much dimensional space is being used?
Yeah, or do I have to like a Zeno's paradox of the more he teleports out, the more space there is left?
This is
I guess the Greek philosopher
as I was saying earlier
dimension.
that I do not understand this. This is not my job.
You even get a teleportation circle to work in there.
Your boss is gonna hear about this. You're not being very helpful right now. This is gonna go on your end of your review. All right.
I'd like to speak to a manager.
Which prison is the architect in?
The penitentiary. The Enchanted Briar Penitentiary.
The one that got bombed last night?
Oh. I would assume so, yes.
You know who bombed everybody?
I don't know all the answers!
Well, you don't know any of the answers so far.
I am only here for
To be a
quick
disappointment,
questions.
we know.
I can't give so much help that would basically put blame on Lysanthier. Everyone knows I am directly connected to Lysanthier. I can only do so much with you all. We told you that at the very beginning.
What is the name of this architect who may or may not be imprisoned after a possible prison break?
Give me a
And
second.
how many kids does he have?
Who are his parents? What section?
What are their names? Where do they go to school?
You all get put on hold music, and you're just hearing elevator music playing now as he's searching.
That was my exact thought.
After about 2 minutes pass. Okay, so the library was also blown up, so there. It took me a minute. His name is Wimble Fizzlespark.
Wimble Dizzlespark?
Fizzle.
Fizzlespark.
Fizzle, as in like F.
Yeah.
Can you put that on the Discord for us?
Wait, isn't that Tink's last name?
That it is.
How dare you, Marshall?
The thick plottins. Oh, wait.
Wimble Fizzlespark.
All right. It seems that the answers we seek lie elsewhere, friends.
Right.
I'm looking on the map for the prison. Where's it located?
It is in Hearsome. Down here.
Ah. The Enchanted Briar Penitentiary, I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in Yagaba?
You're in Yagaba. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we might need to lean into our information networks to see if we can track down Wimble Fizzlespark. Whether he escaped during the chaos last night and maybe circulating under an assumed name or with some less savory types here in the Heartwood, or if he is still in prison and we have to do a prison break or prison infiltration or something.
Would you be able? Would you be able to procure like a scroll of find dude or some spell like that, or locate person?
Oh, are you asking? You're asking me about a locate person?
No, I'm pretty sure you said find dude.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that Don would know the name of the spell.
Give me a second.
I mean, it's just I'm not expecting it of you. It's just a simple question like, could you do that? Because that would be cool.
I am not able to do that. There is some magic shops in the area that might be able to provide a spell of that type.
All right.
Is the prison still functioning?
That's something y'all would have to check.
You mean the
All
government
right, guys,
official
I don't
doesn't
think
know?
this dude's going to be any use anymore.
Oh, no, you're asking... Oh, I thought you were just asking that. You're asking
Yeah, I'm asking. Yeah, I'm asking the government official if his prison is still functioning.
That is not in my sector. But I do know it was hit pretty hard. As was everywhere, and there is hardly any means of transportation other than the soldiers of the minor archfey.
Have they locked down the districts?
They have locked down. Yes, they have locked down the districts.
So we can't go from one district to the next.
There are a way. You just have to pass through tolls.
Checkpoints. I see.
Checkpoints.
Okay. Well, according to the map, we're really not too far away from the penitentiary. I mean, it's just one hop, skip, and a jump over. That's just a brief 2-3 mile jog, Beef?
Well, it's not a jog.
It's a stroll. I mean, if I was a T-Rex, it would be a whole lot easier to get over there. We could just, quick run, couple of...
I mean, that could be arranged.
Yeah.
I mean, it might give us away a little bit, but, I'm not saying no.
As much as I enjoy being a monk, there's something quite alluring about the power that coursed through me as I was T-Rex Prosper.
So, do we need to head to
was
the
a dream.
penitentiary at this point?
Well, if I just kind of lean over to him so that I'm not whispering, so that Thalindor can't hear me. I'm just, well, if your friend was a Fizzlespark and this guy's a Fizzlespark, he's his shop is on this burrow, right, Marshal?
Yes.
So we could swing by over there and ask if he knows him. I don't know if that's racist. Is that racist to say your last name's Fizzlespark? You should know every other Fizzlespark? Don't want to be insensitive.
I mean, I don't really know why you brought race into it. I would have just assumed that they're related since it's the same last name. But
There's
yeah,
some people
I
with
can
the same last name that aren't related.
I can go talk to Tink.
Well, he's your friend. It's just, if you want to or not.
I mean, I hate getting him more involved in this than he is, but we have a better chance of getting information by me seeing him than by heading to the penitentiary, I think.
If he's related to the other one, then maybe he's already involved.
And he also still has Haukin's sword.
Yeah. I guess we'll go see Tink.
It's an excellent opportunity to check on the progress of his work.
I think that'll be the best option.
Ooh. Wordplay.
All right, then, Don.
Are y'all heading over to Tink's?
I suppose so.
Jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can have a breakfast of corn chips flavored as blueberries or whatever else Beef has to offer us.
Apples.
Yeah, I mean, got a lot of Chex Mix and protein powder.
That's how you do.
That's what it is.
Back to Tinks.
Okay. So y'all are heading to Gilded Gears.
Are indeed.
One little hop and a skip over to Gilded Gears. And the building there are no lights on currently.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna go knock on the door.
Before we go up to it, can I just watch and see if I look out to see if I see anyone watching it or anything suspicious around it?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
As long as you watch normally and not the way you did last night.
I think that is a 25. That is indeed a 25.
You don't see anyone, or hear anything, other than just a tiny, like, every now and again, like, cling or a clang, a little bit underground.
Or a clink clang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, there's no Pokemon in this world. All right, we're good. Let's go. Or Beef, you go first.
All right, I go up and knock on the door.
The door opens.
At this point, I think I'm just strolling inside. Like, it's like, yo, Tink, what's up?
You stroll on in. The oil does not spray or anything, and
Better
you
not.
see that there's no one in here. But every now and again, you can hear a faint cling and a clink.
All right, I'm gonna go to the sub basements.
Are all of you following?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. You all head on down, and the cling and clank's just getting louder and louder. And there is a room, one of the rooms open, and you can see Tink in there just hammering away and throwing some like weird powders onto the sword that Haukin gave him.
Hey, Tink, what's going on? My dude, I don't know why I'm sounding like Steve Buscemi in that one movie.
I
Hello,
don't know
my
who that
fellow
is.
artificers.
I don't know who that is. But yes, what's going on?
He's just carrying a skateboard and a backwards cap. What is up, my dude?
I'm working on the sword.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know someone by the name of Wimble Fizzlespark, would you?
My brother?
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured there'd be some relation. He designed the Fey Court building, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
He's in prison now.
Possibly.
Possibly?
You remember how like the whole city kinda got a day after tomorrow pulled on it?
Yes.
It was
I
hit
don't
by
know
an
why
ice storm?
I don't know why I've committed to Beef doing pop culture references when that doesn't make sense in universe.
Yep. Go on.
Anyway, one of the places that was hit was the penitentiary.
Oh. That's good. I don't have to do it now.
I told you.
Tink's a little anarchist.
Tink,
Yeah.
look, I said I didn't want to get you involved, but it seems like you're not a huge fan. I'm kind of going to bring my voice down. It seems like you're not a huge fan of the people running this system. Is that fair?
Oh, well, yeah. That's one of the reasons why I have these rooms.
Yeah.
Beef, tell him about the cannibalism.
I thought you were just a libertarian.
Oh, no. What cannibalism?
What my friend is referring to is look, we're not a fan of this system either. And
Okay,
we
yeah.
may have a way to bring it down for good.
Oh.
My friend is referring to someone asked me how I would fix the system, and I just pointed out the fact that in nature, if a Leonin gets too big for his britches, his fellow Leonin kill him, and sometimes wild lions will eat the bodies of other lions.
Oh,
We don't do that,
suggesting
but like, no.
Oh, Okay.
Not suggesting anything. I'm merely pointing out a fact about the natural world.
That's a way of work.
Tink, you're scaring me, man.
I'm kidding. There's no fork.
I just want you to know, Tink, that like no one has been able to kill me yet, which means according to experimental probability, it's impossible. So put your fork up. Anyway, what I was gonna say, we might have a way of bringing down the system for good, and part of that is being able to get inside and out of that building as stealthily as possible. Would you happen to know anything that might be able to help us with that?
My brother.
We're stealing the heart. We're stealing the Heartwood gem. I just like let's just
lay it out there.
Cards on the table. Like you're in this deep. You should know the stakes. We're stealing it.
That's juicy.
And we're supposed to give it to Lysanther Silverglade. We're probably not gonna, because I don't think he's any better than the other.
Oh, okay. Got it. So
he's the one who hired us.
So Lysanther hired you all to steal the Heartwood.
Mm-hmm.
And why?
I think it has to do something. Look at my notes. Look at my notes.
While Glint is loading, I'm just like, did I get that right? Like, we're all on the same page of we're probably not giving it to Lysanther, right?
Unless we're about to find out from Tink that Lysanther is actually somebody that he admires and that is actually trying to destabilize the system.
Is Lysanther the leader of the Libertarian Party of Heartwood?
From what I know, Lysanther is not a part of the rebels.
Well, I think it has to do something with Kelimdrieltor, Miss Briar.
Oh, yes, the one who was banished.
Yes.
Yep.
I think so, because Silverglade and him were buddies at one point.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants us to steal it. During this time, there's been more and more unrest and bombings.
Oh, so that's
so I think that's connected.
Okay. I thought the resistance was just going at it. That's why they've been asking me for bombs.
Tink is the one who's responsible for all the bombings.
Tink, I feel like your life is a lot more interesting than any of ours, and if this were a movie, you should be the main character.
Why? I was just asked for, like, I think maybe it was just a casual 80 bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Just casual.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good news is that one of our investigations comes to an end. We know who did the bombing now.
I have more downstairs. Do we need more?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've got a bag of holding. We'll take a few.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how much are y'all wanting to purchase? I still have to run a business.
I understand.
Sure. How much do I owe you for the sword for the work? And by the way, how is the work coming? I know it's only been 8 hours or so.
Oh well, give me a second. And he just pulls from a bag of holding on his hip, and he just has like this big gem, and he just crushes it, and powder just slowly falls onto the sword, and now it's just humming. And here you go.
Marvelous.
So that will be friendly discount. Let's say 250 gold.
Yes, a princely sum for a princely job. And the discount is already applied.
Yes, normally it would be 1,500.
Oh, a generous discount. And I dig into my pockets and not knowing how I'm carrying 250 gold among the 1,000 gold pieces I have in my inventory, I count out, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was planning on adding enough on to cover the discount, but he didn't discount it. He's practically giving it away.
12, 13, 14, 15. Fast forward, 249.
Wait, you counted that coin twice.
Oh, let me start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 249.
While he's doing that,
I'm gonna slip 10 gold pieces in there just as a tip.
While he's doing that, Mr. Fizzlespark,
yes.
Would you happen to have a scroll of find dude or something? And yes, I'm gonna keep going with find dude.
Oh,
although it is a druid spell.
I just bought a skull from the Eldritch Emporium that will shout out where someone is for you.
Shout out?
Like literally shout out loud?
Yes, and then it will continue to guide you in very rude manners.
Hey, look at that guy over there. Chase him down.
Does this skull happen to be named Bob?
That's the reference that he's not going to get.
I know.
You can call him Bob.
That's a reference for you, Shane, and any of y'all who got it.
He goes and rummages in a box. Skull.
I don't know how useful it's going to be if it out loud yells at me. I think I'm good.
50 gold?
No, I just
I
remembered that I have a spell that I can prepare, given enough time. So I might just hold off on that, actually.
Yeah, I think you've missed the fact, buddy, that stealth is very important here.
Oh, no, I'm saying it will shout at you the first time, and then it continues to, loudly, but not, super loudly, not as loud as the first time. Here, where
that's still not helpful.
Tink Fizzlespark? Right in front of me!
No, I get the feeling that I have a good understanding of how it works. But it might still be a little too loud. Let's pivot. Do you potentially have any kind of item that could store a spell in it that could be then cast later? I was kind of thinking about preparing for for our getaway, and it's if something, we might get involved in some ordeal that drains resources. It might be able to be good to have a backup.
We always need an emergency T-Rex.
I have 3.
What are they?
Oh, I'm saying I have 3 empty ones.
Yeah, what are they? What kind of item? I just asked for something that stores spells.
Parchments.
The papers. So that you can make a spell scroll out of them?
Correct.
It's just
unless you want something other. I have another thing, and he reaches in.
Sure. Tell me what you have. I'm just asking what's there.
Tell me what you have.
He pulls out a little tiny. He pulls out a tiny skull. This one will do the spell for you. You just have to put the spell in it.
Okay. What kind of capacity does that one have? Is it reusable? Those are 2 separate questions.
It is reusable in the sense that if you go grab it again, and it's not destroyed with whatever it casts, then yes. But you could you could have it blow itself up, basically, depending on the spell.
If you put a fireball in it, it would probably be broken.
Kind of. That is kind of some of the bombs that I sold.
Okay. But what kind of how much spell energy could you put in there? Like what level would you put it at?
I think 7th.
All right. How much do you want, Mr. Fizzlespark?
It's empty. 300.
Sure. I
Okay.
hand Haukin my bag of gold. Do you want to count this? You seem to enjoy counting.
I'm actually very good at counting. I count all the time. So I take his bag of gold and I start counting out. It was 350, right?
300.
300. So 1, 2, 3.
This is the least watchable session of Dungeons and Dragons ever.
Okay, here you go.
299, 300. And I hand Dawn back her bag of gold.
Thank you.
I had a question.
Yes.
How familiar are you with the schematics for that your brother built?
So my brother specifically did not tell me or shared any of those with me because I would have been imprisoned as well.
Well, why is he in prison?
Yeah, you've just implied that he's in prison for designing the building.
That is one of the reasons why I hate the council. They asked him to build it, and then they imprisoned him for it. He found out that he found out basically as he was finishing that they were going to imprison him after making his masterpiece.
Okay.
But he made sure to not tell me anything because, normal contracts and stuff like that. If he tells me, he dies. But casual things. But I believe that he still has the blueprints, but you could also ask him if he
but
got
if he
out,
can't,
which I assume he did.
But how can he tell us? But if he tells you, he dies.
Well, they checked everyone after they captured him to see if he told anyone Zone of Truth stuff, to see if he told anyone, and then they would have killed him.
You said he might still have the schematics?
Yes, he
in
buried
prison.
a lot of stuff.
Okay.
I don't know where he would have buried it, though. He buried stuff at least in every burrow.
This would be quite the quest.
I forgot to mention that at the end of the long rest or whatever, I get a free spell scroll.
Oh, okay.
Is it too late to ask for ask for a locate object spell scroll?
Did you buy parchment, or does it just create it for you automatically?
So it's part of my class features. So like
it's Order of the Scribe, right?
Yeah. So whenever you finish a long rest, you can create one magic scroll by touching your wizard's quill to a blank piece of paper or parchment and causing one spell from your spell book to be copied into the scroll.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. You're able.
Okay.
Well, would you have intentionally done locate object though in the morning?
Well, it's like it had to have been a second level or first level spell. And like looking through my spell list, it's one of the only ones that I don't have prepared in my book. Like it's in the spell book, but I don't have it prepared. But I have all my other spells prepared. Like So he'd probably want to be able to use it at least once, because he doesn't know if he's going to need to find something.
Got it.
I'll let it be up to your discretion.
I'll give it to you this once.
Okay.
I'll be nice.
We thank you, O benevolent DM.
My liege.
Many thanks.
So you have locate object.
I have a locate object spell scroll.
So if Wimble sends us on a wild goose chase to find the object, we can use the locate object spell.
Yes.
Or are we going to visit locate, or are we going to use the locate person thing to find Wimble and then the locate item to find the?
He might not have broken out, so like the first, we might want to have to just go to the prison and see if he's there, and then if he's not, we can worry about locating him.
So y'all will rescue my brother for free if I locate him for you?
Well,
I don't remember saying that.
So we have to run a business. There might be a slight, finder's fee. Discounted for family and friends, of course.
we trade in bombs.
Well, if he's still in prison, I mean, Marshal, a question: is visitation allowed at this penitentiary?
After the explosions, probably not.
Okay,
Fair.
so we might have to break it.
So if y'all are going to rescue my brother, depending on if he's in prison or if he got out or anything like that, to make sure he can get back here safely, I'll give y'all 6 bombs.
Yeah.
How much damage does one bomb do?
8d12.
Oh, I wasn't asking specifically for how many bombs did it take to blow up the library?
It does triple the damage to objects.
Okay, so like 1 bomb per building, got it.
Yeah.
I reach into my robe and pull out my staff of fireball and wave it around. Oh, this does similar damage. It's very nice.
Put that away. Don't. If we need to be showing our heat, I got mine. Okay. He pulls out the skull again.
How about we borrow the skull? We'll bring it back.
Where is Wimble Fizzlespark? Words.
Marshall really wants to roleplay this skull.
It's just not useful in the world that he's designed.
In Yagaba!
It reminds me a little bit of the Borderlands 2 gun that is cursed, and when you shoot it just yells at you.
Well, but if Wimble is in Yagaba, then he's not in the penitentiary.
Where specifically, Bob? On the way to Dimplewinks.
That one sounded less screamy and more constipation-y.
Rude.
Why would he go to the Timberwinks?
I don't know. I just work here.
Is the skull sentient or not? I gotta know, Tink. Is the skull sentient?
That's something you'd have to ask the owner of Eldritch Emporium. Yeah, go ask her.
I'm gonna do the same thing I did to Percival and just put my full paw over the skull's mouth.
That's very rude.
Like, look, there's a lot has happened today already. And I I need to know if the skull is sentient. My sanity relies on it right now.
It can have conversations with you, but I don't know if they were like pre-made. It's pretty intelligent, but it knows the whole Feywild.
Right. I'm just gonna take that as a yes and pretend like my life makes sense.
Honestly, if he knows where every person in the Feywild currently is at all times, then that's we can't let anyone have that.
That's incredibly useful if he just didn't scream it.
Can we ask him where Callum Drieltor is?
Ooh, do that.
You want to know where Callum Drieltor is?
Yeah, I guess so.
You said.
I mean, I was asking Tinks because, he's holding it. But it does seem to be sentient, so... Mr. Skull, do you know where Callum Drieltor is?
As he's holding it, it jumps and looks at you. Oberlin!
Oh, that's the one on the top left, isn't it?
Yep.
So, he was banished, so he shouldn't be there, right?
Correct.
Cool.
The one with the giant horse statue on the island?
Yeah, that's basically the equivalent to Statue of Liberty.
I didn't think it was an actual horse statue. I'm making a joke.
It is a literal giant statue.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Austin.
Where is Mr. Silverglade?
In a lot of places.
Ooh.
How is that possible?
I don't know. That's weird.
Does he have a real Mr. Silverglade?
He was here earlier.
Here in Tinks Emporium?
Yes. Near y'all.
I tell you, Tink and Lysander are in cahoots.
He makes eye contact from where the remnants of the old bracelet was. The anklet.
The thick plottins.
I think you were right. I don't think we should trust Mr. Silverglade. All right, Mr. Tink.
Yes.
He
puts away the skull.
Who do you think we should give the gem to?
I don't know who you should give it to. I don't really keep track of what people care about. I'm just here to run a business and take care of my family. But
I mean, that's not all you're here for. You are supplying explosives to the rebellion.
For a profit.
Well, that's for profit. And that's something I'm really good at. Making explosives. And fixing the trains. That sometimes have explosives on them.
Okay.
I've sold a few to the Fate J before.
That tracks. Wait. On the 13th of Thimblewinter, did somebody buy a bomb?
There was a case full of bombs, yes.
It wasn't my fault.
Hey, have you ever done business with a guy named Frank?
He sounds familiar. I'm doing the skull and Tink. He sounds familiar. I I've done business with a lot of people. Sometimes I don't get a name.
Okay. I think a lot
But
of stuff is starting to make
typically,
sense.
typically, if I don't get a name, they get oil sprayed on them.
Good to know.
You know,
I
be
thought
kind.
you were about to say if you don't get a name, you just assume that their name is Frank.
Everyone's Frank who doesn't have a name. Who doesn't give a name.
It's like the John Doe.
So, if y'all are gonna save my brother, 6 bombs, all for y'all.
Could we also get a lead line box?
Oh, yeah. Here.
Something that the jewel will fit in?
I don't know how big the jewel is. There's been rumors that it is as big as Beast's chest.
Ooh.
There's also been rumors it's as big as all of you, Miss Lady. But there's also talks that it is just tiny.
Oh, okay.
But the one I trust the most is that it changes.
Okay.
Hmm.
My concern is I don't know if I trust it in the bag of holding.
Does such a thing as a lead-lined bag of holding exist?
If it does, Tink would be the one who could make it.
I do have a box for that. It's pretty clanky though.
Hmm.
I can try to make a bag.
If you do, I would purchase it. Like I'm not asking for it for free. It would be a purchase.
For me.
It could be deadly.
Tink,
You might.
I respect your craft and I think you're the best at your job. I feel like that statement is true about most things you make.
That's fair.
Not just the ones
This
that are
one,
designed to be deadly either.
that's fair. It is very likely that it could lead to lead poisoning if you don't get a cure of it. Like down here, all of you would be poisoned, but there's the humidifier upstairs.
Some of us are now immune to poisons, just saying.
And you could hold it. Okay, give me a day. I can make it. I'll try.
All right. Marshall, did you plan for Tink to be this important of a character?
He loves his artificers.
Now, how would you feel if I told you Tink is not an artificer?
Then you love your magic.
You would be lying.
Makers.
He's an artificer.
An extra dimensional imp.
Tink is actually kind of a god.
I was going to say, Tink is the god of this world.
But yeah, come back in a day and I can get that. Is there anything else that y'all need from me? Because if y'all are gonna get the Heartwood and get it from those losers of the Fey Court, that would be
that was such a tame insult.
So did Tink answer the question? Who should we give the Heartwood jewel to?
No.
So
what if we gave it to Calamdrieltor?
There was rumor that some of the old newspapers spoke highly of Calamdrieltor. but others painted him as the villain. Majority of them painted him as the villain. So I don't know, but I know that there were two newspapers that are still around that did not badmouth Callum Jailtor.
Oh yes. Are they the Green Canopy Gazette and the Sylvan Sentinel?
That sounds familiar. Yes.
Okay. Do you know where they are? I would like to go talk to them.
Well, the Sylvan Sentinel is in Rashomon, and the other the Green Canopy Gazette is actually in the Fesric. Not too far from the Fei headquarters.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
And
I
Tink
think
definitely knows about the headquarters of all Mafia.
Tink seems to be a man of many secrets and knowledge, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, yes. So those newspapers, they're in those two boroughs, but I don't know how things have turned out.
Okay.
For them, I haven't paid much attention.
How much were you selling the skull for?
The skull, wait a second. How much are you worth? You know, 500.
Why do I have that money?
I feel like this goes against what you told us was the express purpose of the skull.
What? What?
I said I feel like that question goes against what we were told was the express purpose of the skull.
Yeah, now I'm hoping that it's not sentient, because if so, he just asked a sentient creature how much money it's worth, and it answered.
Yeah, he basically said, like, if someone wanted to buy you as a slave, what would be a fair price?
Yeah, is this capitalism or is this slavery?
Is slavery legal in this world?
Isn't any job technically a form of slavery? It's just you agreeing to work for a certain fund. I mean, if he could not answer a question, if he chose not to, then it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be slavery, right? It would be
indentured servitude.
Hold on, I want to answer that question very clearly. No,
I do get paid.
What do you mean you get paid?
He's got a family to support back home. He sends all his money back to the other talking skulls of Talking Skull Island.
All the talking little skull. Oh no, that would be babies.
I mean, it could be like animal skulls.
So if we buy the skull from Tink, does that mean that we then, we've paid the one-time fee, but if he gets paid, do we have to start paying his salary?
No, you are. Yeah, you're paying Tink 500, but the skull gets some of that.
Okay, so then he only gets paid when he changes hands?
Do we become owners or employers?
That's a really bad form of... That's a bad job. Because what if we just keep him forever? Then he never gets to send money to his family again.
Are you going to have to provide the skull with a W-2?
After a certain point, if you don't provide new services and new payments, then there will be consequences.
Okay, so he does have a salary that we have to pay.
Yes.
Feels like a weird system that this...
What?
It's almost like Marshall can't come up with a good system on the fly.
No, this is the system. This is just what it's been.
Mm-hmm.
I think at some point in time, whoever this skull belonged to ticked off a really twisted genie. And we've just been, like, caught up in that.
500 gold. Tink gets 200. I get 300.
How much is it to rent your services?
Do you need to eat or drink?
No.
What do you spend money on?
Secrets.
Can we rent out the skull's services?
Well, no. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Purchase or none. Tink's already used me a few times now.
I don't think I want that burden.
Yeah, I don't
want not that bad of a burden.
I don't want any part of this pyramid scheme.
Yeah, I feel like we'll become implicit in the ownership of another sentient being.
Well, I like to be bought.
That doesn't make it better. That feels like a moral justification that does not change the fact that this is literal slavery.
The skull, I can't do anything. This is the only thing I can do. This is the only way I make money.
Guys, I'm
if it's the only thing you do, then what do you spend money on?
Gambling. This has to be it.
I'm gonna do my usual of like putting a hand up to block Tink and the skull out and talking to the other three as if that like makes it soundproof. Just be like, guys, this is a really dark place for me to go, but like, do we need to put this skull out of its misery? Like, is it living a fate worse than death right now?
I mean,
please, no.
I mean, I don't. It doesn't sound like a moral situation, but like on some level, he apparently likes it, which doesn't make it objectively right.
Like, but of course, if I were the genie and I put this curse on the
skull, be quiet.
If I were the genie and I put this curse on the skull, I would also make the skull like either not be able to talk about it or claim that it likes it. Like, I just feel like there are a lot of moral implications to this whole situation, and if we pass by this without touching it again, we're bad guys too.
If a new form of government were instituted involving democratic cannibalism, would the skull be eligible to be cannibalized?
I don't want to be eaten.
Would the skull eat people or bones?
I don't eat. Well, I do eat, kind of.
What?
Hold on, back up. Explain.
Where would it go?
I eat names. That's why I tell y'all about names and where they are.
So, are you like stealing parts of the names of people you find?
Kind of.
Well, I feel like now... I feel like if you steal part of Callum Gialtor's name and Mr. Silverglade, I feel like those are powerful people who might get back at you for that.
Oh, if they wanted to kill me, they can come try. You can try to break me. You can't.
I feel like Archfey would have some sense of awareness of their names. And so does using you, like, do they find out when you apparently take a little bit of their name to locate them?
Within reason.
I think we should stop talking to the skull.
What? I like talking, though.
The more we find out, the more there is to know.
I don't like this.
This is very enlightening.
Alright, we're gonna go find your brother now, and I'm gonna go find those newspapers.
Okay. Okay, Skull, you're going back in the bag of holding. So
I half expected it to scream and be like, "No, wait, no."
Uh, you're gonna go find Wimble, and you're also going to those newspapers, okay? Well, right there, in my voice, we will take a quick pause, and we will be back in 10 minutes.
All right, everybody, we'll be back.
Pause. Hello, we're back.
Oh,
We are back. We just grabbed some water, had a quick break, and thank you all for still being here on YouTube or here on Twitch. Uh, we uh, we are now in the midst of them just having Tink put away the skull of major confusion,
good
and
riddance.
and now they are all deciding whether if they are going to be going straight to Wimble, or if they're going to go to the newspaper, or if they're going to split the party. What are all of y'all doing? Or something else that y'all are just going to pull out of nowhere on me, and then I have to be prepared for that. What are all of you doing? Pull chaos on me.
Well, we now have 6 bombs. We could just go directly to the fake court and hold them hostage for the gem.
That would be
I mean,
interesting.
is terrorism really out of the question here?
Worst case scenario, we
all die.
we do some extortion, get some money, buy the skull, find out where all of the fake court members live, bomb them in their sleep, and take all their riches.
You were absolutely right. The worst case scenario is we buy the skull.
And then set up our own shadow government.
Of cannibalism.
Cannibalism.
Okay. What are all of you doing?
I think we need to find Wimple.
Oh,
yes, it seems to me the same that this Wimble fellow needs rescuing and would be very useful.
I had a question for you, Marshall.
Yeah.
Since Dawn is naive and does not know that the crime families are crime families, what are the front organizations for the Feiche and the Temple Winks that I would think that they are?
Feiche is known for the railways.
Okay.
Tipplewinks are alcohol.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably heading there because he's thirsty. Well, the skull told us he was in Yagaba, heading to the Tipplewinks. So maybe if we leave quickly enough, we can stake out the entrance and wait for him to arrive. I kind of assume he'll look somewhat like Tink.
It's a good assumption, I think.
Unless they're adopted brothers.
We kind of look a little similar. He's a lot older than me, though.
Do you have a picture?
Like a bugbear or something?
Yeah, I have a picture. He's gonna just.
Marshall has just pulled my favorite DM trick of a character asks a player asks something out of character, and he responds in character, thus forcing Dawn, in this case, to be extremely rude and talk about Tink in the third person as if he's not here.
Okay. So
welcome to D&D.
He has a very large gray matted beard and very frizzy white hair.
Marshall,
and he wears very large spectacles.
This is a DM question, not to Tink, because it wouldn't make any sense. What race is Tink?
Tink is a gnome.
Okay.
I'm a gnome.
I didn't remember if that was established. I kind of assumed, which I don't know what that says about me, but I kind of assumed he was a gnome.
And his brother is biological.
So gnome or half gnome?
No.
Okay. I didn't want to assume.
Very large spectacles, and he does have a few robotic fingers.
Okay.
Seems easy enough to spot in a crowd.
He will look like the crazy one. He's also very bubbly, and that's why everyone calls him Fizz.
So he probably wouldn't answer to Wimble. Good to know.
Without further ado, let's head on out so that we can. I mean, the longer we wait, the more likely it is that he beats us there and we don't see him go in.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So you are all heading out.
Did we in
Y'all are
fact
all.
get the 6 bombs? Since the skull told us that he was no longer imprisoned.
Oh,
I thought we were getting the bombs after we returned
yeah.
with the brother.
After you bring back Wimble.
So no bombs.
No bombs yet.
Okay.
Unless y'all want the skull.
Is the Tippling business? Are they mostly like distributors or like producers of alcohol? Do they have like a tavern? Is it some combination of those?
They do have a tavern, and there's a name, like their brand name tavern all in every borough, but they are mainly distributors themselves.
Okay.
So they probably have tavern and distillery on site.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we might once we get there, we might want to have a team outside observing and a team that like goes into the tavern part itself and watches for him.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay. So y'all are running on over to the Temple Winks, and y'all are specifically, some of you are going into the tavern close to the Temple Winks headquarters, and the other ones are staying outside.
Yes.
Okay. Where out? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'll be on the outside team since I'm perceptive. Okay. I may even wild shape into an eagle and watch from like a rooftop.
Okay. Then you all are heading over there. Dawn's gonna be on the outside team. Who else is on the outside team?
I don't mind wandering around outside.
I can be on the inside team.
So Beef and Glint are inside team, and Dawn and Haukin on the outside team. Okay. You are all heading on over there, and by the time y'all get over there, you notice that part of the Temple Winks' like buildings are blown up, like a whole area, as you can see on the map. There is there's a good bit of chaos going on, where people are lifting rubble and like stumbling as they are moving it all around. And part of the tavern was actually hit as well.
That sounds especially dangerous for a place that stores alcohol to have been bombed.
At least the distillery didn't get hit as hard. But the tavern got a little hit. So are the two planning on going up to the broken down tavern, and the other two are just like standing on the road? Or what? What are y'all planning on doing?
Well, the outside team would be focused on keeping an eye on like the entrances, and like if I would know like the entrances that the family, like the people in charge would use, then I'd want to search those out. But I don't I don't know what the relationship is between the Tipplewinks and the Bachellies. They assumed it was the Tipplewinks that bombed, so I'm guessing it's not a great relation.
Yes,
And
Austin.
I'm just kind of patrolling.
Okay. Yes, Austin.
What's the Feiche's relationship with the Tipplewinks?
The Tipplewinks is pretty chill with most people because they supply alcohol to basically everyone. And but they are known for being aggressive in any type of meeting among the like heads of the family.
Okay. Who was the group that I blew up the building with?
That was actually two. That was the Pygmy Posse and the Tipplewinks.
Okay.
Does
So
the
they
Ascendant
know me.
They would know you.
Okay.
Does the
If
Ascendant Dragon have a relationship with the Tipplewinks?
does the Ascended Dragon associate with alcohol?
No.
Or crime. Do you have mafia ties?
Do they make kombucha?
I mean, like, our gains are so good that you'd think we're stealing, but no, it's all legal.
Okay. Then
No gains. There's your next gym.
whoever wants to, you can give me an investigation check. I think the main two that are looking at things are Dawn and Haukin. But if you're wanting to check around the area before Glint and Beef go in, as you're walking up to the tavern, you can both also give investigation checks.
Do this.
So are we all doing
Oh my
investigation?
gosh.
Jeez, a +9.
That's funny. He got Glint got a nat 1 and I had a +9, and I have a +0 and I got a nat 20.
I got a dirty 1.
15.
15. Okay, so good for the people on the outside. The person on the inside.
Go outside team.
There's the inside team. Beef. You're not associated with alcohol. You're just like I'm here as well. Mainly for Fizzle Spark. Just trying to help out Tink and get his brother out of here. Focusing on that, and Glint, a little bit of anxiousness is coming in with the worry that they might notice you. But for the outside team, you are able to spot several doors in the distillery. But there's a really big one where they do truck loading. And a little bit to the left of that, some stairs going up pretty high into like the upper area of the building. And that seems pretty guarded.
So
You see
that's where we keep our eyes focused.
You see like people posted around and just walking back and forth.
So with all the chaos in the city, is the tavern still open for business, or is everything shut down? I mean, in times of crisis, people tend to go to watering holes and share information. So is there a lockdown, or are people being people?
Are they the Waffle House of the Heartwood? They're always open.
You notice that like the inside of the tavern is not looking good, but directly on the outside they've set up basically a lemonade stand for alcohol and snacks for a temporary feast for everyone. It's basically a little buffet and of alcohol and some snacks, mainly
An
alcohol.
open bar.
Open bar. Okay, so we got our two watchers. What are the two going in or doing?
Oh, hey, what's this? Picks up a drink. Smells it.
That's the spicy dragon.
Spicy dragon, does it taste good?
I love it. It's one of our harder drinks.
Harder drinks, what does
How
that
can a
mean?
drink
Just
be
takes a
hard?
sip.
It's liquid. You mean ice? Like a hard drink is frozen.
No, I mean as in like it's hard on people.
Like
Uh,
like drinking soy sauce?
Should have said that.
give me a con save,
Oh my gosh.
Glint.
Quad save. 15.
15. That's not bad. It's good. You are coughing a good bit. If you drank a little bit more, you know you'd already be done.
Just set it right back down.
Do you want another one?
I think I'm good.
Oh, well, here's this one. It's the Sparkly Fairy.
Takes a drink.
It
Pure alcohol.
it's so sweet going down, but right after it goes down, it hits. And Glint is drunk.
I feel funny.
All right, but I'm just gonna grab Glenn's shoulder and walk him away. All right, mission's a bust.
Do you
But
want
where are we
drink, sir?
going?
I only drink water and protein shakes.
Oh, we have a protein drink.
Nope,
right
not
here.
interested. I'm not yes-anding this bit. Tipplewinks, let's go. Just pull Glint away back to the outside team. All right, so that didn't go as planned.
Was the sky always this blue?
Sky's not blue, buddy. That's just Rayleigh scattering, letting those wavelengths of light get to your eyes quicker.
Don't drink, children. Stay in school.
As you all are all waiting, about an hour passes, and we're getting to about like 1 p.m. To 2. Actually, no, yeah, it'd be about 2. And you all notice a basically a what's the word? Not a horde.
It's a
group
Mongol
of people.
horde?
A horde of people.
It's Genghis Khan.
And other beings walking, surrounding one person. And they're all moving
A crowd?
towards... it's not a crowd. They are very distinctly placed in specific locations.
An organized mob.
Yeah, but they're surrounding one person, guiding them to the back entrance. And you notice that there are a bunch of very short, inky-looking dudes with very long claws. Some couple of red-capped people. And you also notice a giant goose. And there are 2 also of those red-capped people riding it.
Goose?
And further in the back, another giant goose. But as you're looking at it, it has 3 heads.
I'm gonna pet that goose.
Gonna pet that dog?
And all you are hearing along the way is huh? Huh? Huh?
I'm so confused.
It's a Cerberus, but it's a goose.
I just don't know why it's happening.
It's a goose hydra.
And
It's Gustarium.
they are...
It's the Gestapo.
Okay.
Oh.
Uh, oh, jeez. They're all heading towards that back entrance. All of you can give me a perception check.
Perception.
Glint, you have disadvantage.
Figures.
You are slightly plastered.
7.
Dirty 20.
Glint with the 7. Dirty 20 from a beef. 17 from Dawn. What about Haukin?
22. I got a 15 with a +7. Yeah.
Then Dawn, Beef, and Haukin, you all notice a man, a very short man, a gnome, standing beside a satyr woman in the center, in the middle of the pack. And she is holding both of the gnome's hands behind his back as they are walking.
Mm-hmm. Does he have a long beard and big glasses?
He has giant glasses that just extend very far, and you can see his eyes from where y'all are at, and y'all are a good 100+ feet. Very frazzled white hair, very long, luscious gray beard. What are all of you doing?
I mean, I'm still chaperoning Glint.
Holding on to him.
Not well, clearly.
Well, I had hoped that that Fizz would be like subtle and hard to spot, but apparently somebody's already spotted him, and they're getting in there. So maybe he's not coming to the Tipplewinks of his own accord.
I kind of assumed he was going there voluntarily, but it seems pretty clear that he's not.
Yeah, the stakes have changed for sure.
From I don't know how much experience I've had with the Tipplewinks. Would there be anyone in the group that I recognized, like that I would have, bumped into or something?
That's fair. Give me a history check.
That ain't good.
You also can, Glint, and you don't have disadvantage for that.
What am I rolling?
History. To see if you know any of these people. I got an 11.
11.
23. Finally.
Jeez.
Finally rolled well. Come on, Mr. Smart Boy. You're supposed to be smart.
You, talking about it with Glint, you both are, with Dawn's perception and Glint's intelligence, you both are able to discern the satyr woman in the middle is the second highest ranking woman in the Tipplewinks. And her name is Venora Pipes. You know her as Venora Pipes.
Can you spell that for us?
Yeah, VENORA, and then Pipes. With a Y. I'm kidding. Normal Pipes.
Now, are they considered a gang or a mob?
No, they're just alcohol vendors.
Yes. Of course.
With talking, you and Glint talking about it, you're able to remember a situation with Venora and someone that you healed, Dawn, they had 3rd-degree burns.
Yeah, it must have been a fire in the distillery or something.
Over their whole body.
Yeah, it must have like fell into a vat of something and then got lit on fire. Accidentally, of course.
Yeah.
Makes sense
and a lot of people that she's interacted with have gotten singed.
Yeah, she's very clumsy. She always seems to be lighting people on fire somehow. I think she must be like a smoker or something. Probably, drops the matches she lights her cigarettes with or something. I don't know how that works though. I don't smoke, so.
Yay! Let's go with that.
And Glint, you're able to recall a specific moment when a certain somebody you cast Fireball, and someone responded in kind, also casting Fireball, but a little bit bigger.
It probably just so happened that the briefcase I was carrying had a bomb in it. That I didn't find out about until today.
What are all of you doing?
So, how many people are in this multitude, this throng, this horde, this formation? Are we talking like more than 10, more than 20, more than 50?
You are able to notice that there are a little under 20.
Less than 20 people, including Fizz, huh?
Yes, a little less than 20, including Fizz.
Okay.
I don't know. So we're not close enough to actually confer and decide what we're going to do as a group. So we're all kind of having to figure out how we're going to respond to this new information of a large group of people taking the person we're trying to find into a secure location.
You're all with each other. Beef brought Glint back after he got drunk.
Yeah, I don't think the infiltration is going to be that useful when half of the crew is drunk.
Okay. Should we try to interrupt them before they enter the building? Should we enter the building? Should we create a distraction? I don't know. The options are wide open here.
I think we could take them.
I mean, is it T-Rex time?
Oh, I mean, we could try talking to them, right? I don't know why they arrested or are seeming to escort this man to the tavern. Oh, that seems really strange, actually.
We could always try talking to them, yeah.
So, talking to them, T-Rexing them, fighting them. Many options.
They don't scare me. That's walking.
All right. So, what if we just go running up and introduce ourselves and ask to talk to Fizz? Lay some claim on him ourselves.
How many of us can become a T-Rex at once? Dang.
I don't have that spell.
There is one of y'all does have an item that lets you have double concentration.
That I do have.
Yeah, but it's not me. No,
but I don't have that spell.
So Venora and Wimble are in the middle of the crowd, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct. They're in the direct center of it.
How far away would you say that they are?
I'm gonna roll for it. I said a little over
100 feet.
Over 100 feet. 180.
That's kind of far.
Yep.
Well, this goes against what Haukin would normally do, but technically a clumped up group of potential enemies is ripe for fireball. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
As they're just slowly getting closer, you are able to spot more of the types of things that are there. You see satyrs, you see hobgoblins, you see the singular-headed goose and a three-headed goose, a couple of hound-looking things that have human faces. And if anyone wants to find out what those are called, you can give a history check or a nature check, your choice.
I mean, I'm gonna.
Anyone who lives in the Fae has a high chance to know. In the Feywild.
It's a 12.
12. Okay. Is anyone else rolling?
Sure. 19.
You both are able to figure out that they're Yeth hounds.
The geese are Yeth hounds?
No, the hounds that have like human-like faces.
Gotcha.
The geese are something completely different. They're just giant geese.
I mean, if they're still that far out and they're approaching the Tipplewinks headquarters, and we're near that, could we just maneuver to be in their way?
In between them? Yeah. So they have to part around us?
You could just go stand in front of them if y'all want. They're just walking down the street heading towards the
I guess
the back entrance.
I suppose I'll do that then, because in my mind this can still be very peaceful.
We're just a couple
I don't know
of
what they're about.
Escorting their drunk friends.
Yeah, I'll just go over there, just stand in the way, and then like when they get close, I'll just start waving at them.
Okay.
Unless someone
just
makes me not
stands with
that.
his staff right there, just like.
Okay, so Don's waving them down. Glint is standing there with his staff. What is Haukin and Beef doing?
I just pull out a bag of corn and start eating it like popcorn.
Okay. As you're waving them down, Don. Haukin, what were you saying?
I don't know why, but I seem inspired here since this is a big crowd and it may be useful here in a minute. I'm going to surreptitiously pull out my decanter of endless water and just like start it flowing around us. So I'm gonna make it to where the streets are a little bit less maneuverable here, by letting some water start to permeate the ground. I don't know if it's dirt or if it's cobblestone or what it is, but
it's almost like it is a little more cobble, and it is there is some like breaks in the ground because of some of the rubble and other things like that, and some of the cracks in the road too. But you're just putting water over the whole surface, just walking around with your decanter of water as Don's waving them down and putting water everywhere.
Yeah, just I'm moistening the streets. If there's an elemental spell that turns it into ice, or some fire that makes it evaporate and turns into steam that makes it harder to see, there's no telling how it may come in handy here in a few minutes.
Okay.
That's technically true, yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea what's about to happen.
As they approach, y'all are just hearing the honks. And Don just waving them down. What are you saying, Don, as they get closer?
I mean, just
as they approach.
Hello or whatever. I don't know who's gonna respond to me.
You say hello?
Yes.
They all stop and a small area opens up, and you see Venora and Fizz right in front of her, and she's holding his hands behind his back. Yes?
Oh, hello, Miss Pipes. I don't know if you know who I am. I work over at the pizzeria. We were looking for Fizz here. What's going on?
We cured him out of prison.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And we're taking him back to our base for safekeeping.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Do you think we could? I mean, he's right there. I feel bad talking about him like he's not there, but I mean, can we talk to him? I mean, I don't know what
He's a little scared. He's a little scared right now. He after all the bombs and
is he? Oh no, is he hurt?
Prison.
I can help.
No.
I'm a healer.
No, he's not hurt. We're just taking him back here for safety.
Okay. Well, I mean, can we visit him? I mean, I understand you want to keep him safe.
No. Why would you?
Wait, does he want to be here?
You want to be here, yes? And he's not saying anything, but he's like,
yeah, this is suspicious. Can I make an insight check? I have to like think through the foggy lens of Dawn's naivety. But no, this is suspicious.
I think while this is happening, Beef wraps his twists off his horn and just strolls in.
Yeah, it's
kind of whispers to Dawn, I will just take him and leave with him. Just give me the word.
I got a 19 insight.
He is terrified.
How far away from me is he?
He is about 50. No, not. I was going to say 50 feet. That wouldn't make. He's about 40 feet.
Okay. Hold on.
Gonna turn him into a T-Rex?
Hold on. I have to go with touch. My latest subclass ability, I can teleport someone, but I have to touch them. But yeah, I definitely I don't know. I don't know how to react now. I guess I just turned to whoever's closest to me. I guess Beef just whispered to me, and I just go, I don't think he wants to be there. We might have to rescue him.
That much is painfully obvious even to me.
Wait, it is?
Do you want me to punch this lady?
Yes.
I punch her.
Oh, jeez. All I'm picturing, and you can change it if you wish, is Beef from 40 feet away and just being whispering with Dawn, goes straight Superman punch at her.
Is the lady 40 feet away too?
She's 40 feet away.
So this whole conversation's been happening from 40 feet away?
There's a bunch of people in between you and her.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Beef straight up just leaps through the crowd and...
Well, the crowd parted. So there's people on the sides, but we're over there in front and they're back here. There's a
Beef
tunnel.
Just goes through and drives an uppercut into her stomach and folds her.
Give me an attack roll with advantage.
All right. Dawn told me to.
It's such an anime moment of just dude is 40 feet away, Suddenly, he's right in front of you, punching you.
One punch
is a 27. No, 28.
Jeez.
That hits.
It was one away from a nat 20.
That hits.
Do I get sneak attack damage?
Are you using a finesse or ranged weapon?
I think my fists count as finesse by now. I am. This is going to be a draconic strike. So I am going to. What damage type should I make it?
Force.
Force, unfortunately, is not one of the ones available to me.
I have a wild suggestion for you, JT.
Okay.
What if you made it bludgeoning?
You know what? Yeah, she's going to feel every bit of this strike as just pure mono muhere action. So yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's going to be 11 damage.
She, from just like having a conversation and holding Fizz, you leap over Fizz, just going straight for that uppercut, and she lets go and clobbering her with 11 damage, and she falls back.
I'm just going to grab
back.
Fizz and run.
You should just toss him to one of us. We'll catch him.
I mean, I'm just jumping.
He's the only one of us that's strong. I don't know if anyone else is gonna catch him.
Oh my.
Okay.
I have the jump distance to just clear.
You as you are jumping away. Oh wait, no, they're all surprised. I was about to give them reactions. They're all surprised. Nope. Yeah, you leap away. You jumped 40 feet already. Leapt 40 feet. What are you doing? How far are you moving with the next jump? Let me kind of like describe like what is going, like the area, so you can decide from there. You're in the middle of a street with some broken buildings, and the Tipplewinks distillery is right behind y'all. Only about 80 feet from y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this huge crowd, and then there are just some small buildings that maybe are like 2 stories, some 3, and some of them have those what are the metal balconies that, like, with the ladders that come down. I forgot what those are called. Are they still just called balconies?
It has ladders like fire escapes?
Yeah, fire escape. Oh my word. Yeah, they're just fire escapes. From the 3-story ones. And then there are a couple like bus stops as well. What are you doing with that?
I mean, so first thing, I am going to use Step of the Wind. My movement speed is 50. So I'm going to dash as a bonus action, since if we're counting this as a turn of combat, I'm assuming that my attack was the action. So I'm going to dash as a bonus action. So I have a remaining 60 feet of movement speed. With a running start, my long jump is 108 feet horizontally.
Nice.
Which, like, obviously I can't clear that whole distance. I can only jump my remaining movement speed. But I think in the chaos of it, it's enough time for me to get a running start and just like bound out of this crowd. I'm just taking off.
Are you running the opposite way from
I'm running
away from
I'm running away from the Tipplewinks building.
Okay, so you're just booking it right there.
I'm just trying to get away from these people put enough distance that I can lose them.
Are you encumbered at all with the weight of Wimble?
How heavy is he?
90 pounds.
Hold on.
He doesn't weigh much.
No.
Okay.
You are bounding. You said 108 feet? 108 feet?
I mean, that's my maximum, but...
Oh, okay. So, I don't know the exact jump distance, so... are you saying 108 feet with the 60? Or are you saying 108 feet with the normal 100 feet that you can run?
I'm saying that, like, with like my absolute maximum jump is 108 feet. I wasn't calculating out a jump. I was just saying, with that information, do I have enough of a jump left to get a head start?
Where are you getting 108 from?
I have boots of striding and springing.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You are able, in the little pocket that you are in right now, there's probably about 10 feet in a circle. A 10-foot circle.
Okay. Well, I have a remaining 60 feet of movement speed, so...
So you are using that for running jump, and you're just, like, leaping over everyone
Actually,
else.
You know what? Screw that. I'm not going to get a running start. Without it, my long jump is 54 feet. So I'm just going to hop away. I'm just going to pick him up and hop away.
Spring like a lion.
Uppercut, grab, jump 54 feet away. As you're jumping, the 3-headed goose, it is just honking like crazy, and you jump right between 2 of its heads, and you're just making your way, and you see 2 red caps sitting on its back, just like, and you jump 54 feet. You are about, I'd say 30 feet from the 3-headed goose, which is the furthest thing to the back.
Okay. I mean, I'm not stopping there. That's just the most I can do in a single turn.
Yeah.
I'm trusting the rest of the party to handle themselves. I've got him. I'm taking off.
And
all right.
I'm going to give everyone except Dawn a chance to possibly act before we call it here. Glint and Haukin, what are your passive perceptions?
Passive?
Yeah.
9.
Okay.
17.
17? Okay.
Yeah.
Then both of you give me a insight check. Insight or luck check, your choice. Luck, straight roll, insight.
I'll take the luck check.
Persuasion, whatever you want.
17.
I rolled a 10.
10 insight?
Yeah, in
Okay.
Yeah, in insight.
Then with a 17 passive and with the 17 luck check, you get to act, Glint. How can you do too? And Dawn, you definitely get to act because he whispered to you. So you already knew it was about to happen. You all 3 can do your turn before we call it. And
in fairness, I'm not sure even in the moment Dawn could have predicted what happened. Even with me saying I was going to punch her.
She knew you were going to punch her, but didn't know what was going to happen after. We'll start with Glint. What are you doing?
I think that really depends on what our plan is.
You don't know the plan. All you're doing is what after you just saw Beef do. What are you doing?
Okay, I mean, I see Beef running away.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to touch Don's shoulder and cast Dimension Door and teleport us 500 feet away. In the direction that Beef was running.
Okay, y'all are just instantly 500 feet away.
Boom! We escape combat.
Does Dawn just follow? Or is she doing anything before the dimension door hits you?
I mean, if I can act before, I'll do something.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah, go ahead.
I might polymorph Beef into T-Rex. That might help him get away. Wait, what's a T-Rex speed? He's probably faster than a T-Rex,
probably
honestly.
faster than a T-Rex, yeah.
In our chat.
50 feet.
Yeah, he's faster.
Yeah, with Step of the Wind.
Can you Step of the Wind as a T-Rex if you're polymorphed?
Can I?
No, you don't keep your
It's the
abilities.
same speed.
Yeah.
So even if I could, it
Yeah, but
I mean, like,
you
you'd still have the benefit of being a T-Rex, but
yeah.
I would have loved that.
He was wild shape,
Okay.
baby.
All right. In that case, hold on. Hold on. I know I said hold on a lot. No, because I was gonna say I might polymorph Haukin, but he is also a monk who can run really quick.
Yes. Yep.
Is
Not
Dawn
sure-
gonna turn herself into a T-Rex as she gets dimension doored?
No,
Well,
we're going 500 feet away. I don't think it's. We're pretty much going to be out of it. It seems. I guess I'm just going to go with Glint.
Okay.
All right.
You get dimension doored, and now Haukin. You just saw Glint and Dawn just go through a door that just appeared and teleport, and you just see them 500 feet away.
So the moment I heard Beef say, "I'm gonna punch him," and then everyone else is like agape looking. I reach into my fold and I pull out my wand of fireball and say, "Time for fireball," and cast it directly in the middle of where there is now a bit of a hole because there's not Fizz there. But if Fizz was the exact center of that group, there's now an incoming fireball.
Yep. I would say probably about 8 people are getting caught in that. And that is also where I'm going to roll to see where the water is roughly. That's a nat 20. Your water is basically right there, and as the fireball hits, explosion, steam erupts. What are you doing after giant explosion and steam?
Now it would seem prudent to beat a hasty retreat, and I'm going to take off running my full action, or not my full action, my whatever movement I've got to be able to catch up with my compatriots, and we're going to book it out of here with Fizz.
So you're Step of the Winding it all the way to.
So I don't have Step of the Wind, but I can move a pretty good speed here.
No, you have Step of the Wind. You're a monk. It's just what lets you dash as a bonus action.
Oh, gotcha.
But it costs a key point.
Yeah.
You also have your tabaxi movement thing.
You're right. The tabaxi doubles it. So yeah, there's no way anybody's catching me. But I'm out of here.
What's your speed? A base speed?
My base speed is 60, and then
so 60 to 120 to 240.
Yeah.
Just 240
the feline agility
through the steam.
Mm.
We just have after Beef clobbered Venora and grabbed Fizz, leapt 54 feet, dimension door for Glint and Dawn 500 feet, and then Haukin cast Fireball on his water. Hurt a lot of people, steam erupts, and books it 240 feet. And you all are on the run, and that is where we will call it for tonight, as y'all are booking it from this horde of people and 2 giant geese.
All right. So the title of this episode should be Fizz Bop.
I like it. Well, we wish you all a great rest of y'all's night. Thank you all for joining us. Come again.
Thank you.